What's a game, movie or TV show you wish you could experience for the first time again? Steins Gate was one hell of a trip the first time I watched it. A remarkably straightforward story about time travel. Easily the most well thought out and practical time travel show / game I know of. P.S. If you haven't already, play the game. It's like re-experiencing the show in a whole new way. The Matrix. I went into it not knowing anything. I hadn't even seen a trailer. Not only was I blown away by groundbreaking special effects, but the story was incredible and the twist shook my perception of reality. I just watched it for the first time last weekend, and apart from only knowing it elaborates on a different view of reality, I had completely no clue what even the main storyline would give me. Gotta say that the special effects, montage and story development really kept me interested like no other movie. I do think I need to watch it more to really appreciate and understand the story and its themes even more. So it still keeps me interested. If you appreciate story and themes in movies, then don't listen to the haters about the sequels. They are a little less tight in terms of amazing action movies, but in terms of sci-fi themes and ideas are still amazing movies. Man, I thought I was alone here. The sequels had me just as enthralled as the original movie. I always thought the mansion fight plus the highway chase scene which occur one after the other in the second one was one of the best movie experiences I've ever had in theater. Not to mention, holy shit, the beginning. I forgot it starts with that balls out scene of Trinity out the skyscraper. The original Mass Effect trilogy. It's amazing how fictional characters became so much like actual friends. Came here to post this. I was obsessed with the universe created in this game. I loved reading the codex so much. Memento. Maybe I should write this down to remember to watch it again. It's my favorite movie. I watched it again last night after staying away from it for a few years, and it still wasn't close to the same as the initial experience. Soma or the BioShock series. Truly amazing games in my mind. First time hearing Ryan's voice and seeing Rapture. That feeling is. The opening sequence in the first BioShock is honestly one of my two favorite video game cinematics. I think tied with the trial of Thel 'Vadam in Halo 2. My two favorite quotes come from these. Andrew Ryan's speech and the line, "If they've come to hear me beg, they will be disappointed." These are things I wish I could experience for the first time again. Yeah, my favorites are tied between the Rapture reveal in BioShock or the launch to Columbia in BioShock Infinite. Both of those experiences completely blew my mind when playing them for the first time. Not to mention the stellar story and dialogue. Have never been that gripped to a story before. Subnautica. Just exploring the world, unraveling the story. I would love to do it again. As a big fan of Subnautica, I highly recommend Outer Wilds, not the latest Obsidian game Outer Worlds. While it doesn't have any of the crafting element, a plus in my book, Outer Wilds is just fascinating, and I binged the hell out of it as a story unfolding due to my exploration had me completely enraptured. 10/10ths highly recommend it. Edit Obsidian not Bethesda. I just got Outer Wilds the other day. I had no idea what I was in for. Greater than sign exclamation mark. The first time the sun went supernova I about shit my pants. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. I experienced true fear when playing this game. I see you have also been to the Bramble. Nightmares. Nothing but nightmares in there. Portal 2. Even though it's been 6 years since I've played it, I still remember how some of the puzzles work. I want to start on a clean slate again. On Steam there's a game called Portal Stories, Mel. It's a free mod for Portal 2. You need to own 2, but don't need to have it installed. And it's tough as nails. You can really tell that there's a difference in puzzle design philosophy, and when your mind clicks over to working in that space it's a similar aha moment as thinking with portals in the first place. I also recommend Mel. It looks professionally made, but beware, also significantly harder. Ocarina of Time. I never could beat it as a kid, and recently I went back as an adult and finished it. It felt so right. Like my leaving the game and coming back mirrored the 7-year time skip within the game. The kid in me was ecstatic to have finished the quest. I managed to beat Newt, but was totally stuck in Majora's Mask. Went back as an adult and finally beat that water temple. Red Dead Redemption. Riding into Mexico for the first time is a magical experience. Jurassic Park. Oh man. I was 14 when it came out. The moment they first see the dinosaurs, the entire theater gasped. It was amazing. I was a little younger, and when the T-Rex roared after he got out of the paddock, a kid ran out of the theater screaming and crying. I was mature for my age, so I was trying to meld into my seat. That was probably me. Hey, when you gotta go, you gotta go. Malcolm. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I've never played it and never watched any walkthroughs or gameplay. As a big Star Wars fan, do you think I should get it? Edit. I will not watch anything and only resort to Google if I get stuck. I will take HK-47 wherever I go, as apparently has a great source of entertainment. I might even stream it when my new PC arrives. Yes. Whenever people say they don't like Star Wars, I ask if they have played KOTOR. Have yet to get a yes. So when they say no, I say that would be why. The story is better than any in the original / cartoons. Back to the Future trilogy. I've only seen the first one. Are 2 and 3 worth watching? Yes. The second one gets crazy with the time travel. The third one people discredit because it takes place at a weird year and has less time travel. But the movie itself is great if you don't try to compare it to the previous ones. All in all, an awesome trilogy. Futurama. I've watched it through at least 20 times and it's still my favorite series of all time. Wish I could experience it for the first time again. Oblivion. That moment when escaping the sewers in the beginning of the game was my first thought when I saw the thread. A close second would be exploring the Imperial City. This is what I feel like Skyrim was lacking, and it wasn't that they should have added more color, it was they couldn't. Skyrim was an amazing game, but walking out and seeing a green hill with a beautiful forest and deer, I'll never forget that moment. Can't believe that was 14 years ago. I have a very vivid memory of that first deer I saw. I'd be down for a remastered version of the game. Well, there is Skyblivion being worked on, which is Oblivion inside of Skyrim. Then there is Skywind, which is basically Morrowind inside of Skyrim. Yay yay yay. I've heard about Skywind for many years now. Where are you, Skywind? I need you. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. The Lord of the Rings. I haven't seen these movies yet. You can live vicariously through me. Currently watching someone react to them at the moment. It's a lazy form of content, to be honest. But it's really cool to watch someone experience something you love for the first time. Edit. And you should definitely watch them. I'm not a massive fan of LOTR, but they are seriously well made movies. Are you watching Nat Haley Gold as well? Same. She's got a great personality for reaction videos, and she has some pretty funny commentary while still getting really involved in the story and characters. Never thought I'd be addicted to someone's reaction videos. Can't wait for OTKPT 3 from her. I guess Minecraft or Celeste. I want to punch the tree for the first time again. Or fail repeatedly in a hard platformer. Yeah, agreed on Minecraft. I sometimes feel like going back to it, and they've added new stuff which is cool. But I always find myself starting a new world and then working on all the tasks you have to do to set up your home base. Finding the resources, mining and more mining. Then I'll build something kinda cool, and then get bored because I've already played thousands of hours of Minecraft. Would be nice to be able to re-experience it ESP with all the new stuff. So much this. I started playing during the alpha, and I feel like not much will ever come close to the first few days / nights experienced in Minecraft in terms of gaming. I have the exact same experience, that when you try to get back into the game you get overwhelmed by all the stuff that you can do and all the items that exist, which in itself is a good thing. But I always loved the game for its simplicity. If I were given the chance to experience it for the first time again, I'd 100% want to play it on Beta 1.6.6, the version I started on, and the old cobble texture, the old lighting, the old everything just means so much to me. I miss it so much. I know I can just boot it up again, but it isn't the same when it's not your first time. Edit. Yes, I know you can play old versions. That's what I meant about booting it up again. I was talking about older versions. Dark Souls. My friends pressured me to play it for a few years. I tried it once or twice, but didn't really like it. I decided to get them to shut up, and I played through DS3, or the DLC2, in January 2019, and it was so frustrating. In a sort of amazing way. I mean, when I beat Nameless King, holy shit. I literally yelled. I was tired, smelled gross, greasy hair, dehydrated. Never felt that good beating an enemy. After that I proceeded to beat DS1, or DLC, DS2, Sekiro, Bloodborne, and now I'm waiting for the Demon Souls remake on PS5. Can't wait. Absolutely love hearing stories like this. Epic work, man. The movie Your Name. Fuck. That first viewing was one of the best movie watching experiences in my life. And it wasn't the experience so much as the movie itself. The experience was me watching it on my Chromebook laptop through shitty, tinny audio earbuds. I went with my brother to watch this in a bigger than usual art house theater. I'm not a huge anime fan. He is. And has also notoriously cheap, but paid for 5 people's tickets. I expected something better than normal. I was blown away. Blew my head to the back of the auditorium. Poor brother. Pay for 5 people and still get called cheap, lol. God of War. That was such an awesome experience for me, especially because I'm a big fan of Norse mythology. The other parts were great as well, but this last game was just breathtaking. When I bought PS2 for first time I purchased God of War with it, but did not get a memory card, lol. So I couldn't save the game. I used to play it again and again, and one day I just completed it in single sitting. Hollow Knight or BioShock Infinite. Hollow Knight. Just bought that for the summer sale. I think I'm in for a treat. Hell yeah you are. Just do yourself a favor and don't look anything up until you absolutely need to. Best way to play this game is to experience it on your own. See, I think this is really up to the individual person and how they like to play games. For me, I got unbelievably frustrated with Hollow Knight early on because I tried to go in blind, and I just became gradually more frustrated that I couldn't figure out where to go, what path to take, and I just felt like I was lost and not making progress for hours. That caused me to dump the game for quite a while before eventually picking it back up again. This time, I looked at a few guides on where the optimal route is towards upgrades. Using that info, I felt like the game world immediately opened up and gave me so much more room to actually explore once I had the tools to really be able to do so. That's what helped me fall in love with the game. So my advice is to not look anything up if you're the type who doesn't mind an immense exploration that can seem overwhelmingly open and intimidatingly confusing until you spend a lot of time in the world. Hollow Knight's world is massive, especially compared to most Metroidvanias. If however, you're the type of person who needs to get even a minor sense of how you're supposed to progress, or if you can get frustrated easily, I wouldn't at all feel bad at checking out a guide. Fallout, New Vegas. Absolutely no question. The first time exiting Doc Mitchell's house and seeing Good Springs was a blast. Too bad it got boring after 25 playthroughs. Gravity Falls. Being nearly 40 years old, I never thought it'd end up being so attached to a cartoon on the Disney Channel at my age. But I love this show. Its story really is great. I've gone out of my way to buy the books so I can read about the spells and everything. I've bought the Blu-rays so that I can see the hidden stuff and listen to the commentaries. I'm a nerd. You and me same, bro. My kids love the show because of its silliness. I love the show because of the silliness and the deep story. I'll have you know that Ducktective has a great mystery element and a lot of humor that goes over kids' heads. Star Wars: The Original Trilogy. Not really the same experience, but some drive-ins will play the original trilogy as a feature occasionally. If only we could get the versions without the Lucas edits. Han didn't just shoot first. Greedo was dead before he got a shot off. For Christmas, I found the original trilogy without the lame-ass edits on VHS and bought a VHS converter for my husband. So we will eventually have unedited DVDs of the original trilogy. Breath of the Wild. The game is so beautiful, but I kinda wish I could wipe my memory of it and discover it anew again. I zip through it way too fast now. Absolutely this. Getting out of the Great Plateau for the first time was absolutely magical. The whole map undiscovered and open to explore. You would run into the jungle, mountains, snow, lakes, never knowing what would come next, and little secrets everywhere. Man, that has to be my favorite time ever with a video game. Yeah. That first moment where you suddenly see that the GP was just one tiny segment of a huge world. Wow. And replaying it didn't give the same feeling, as you already knew where everything was. Chernobyl. I knew a lot about it before I watched, but darn it, that series was amazing in visuals, music, acting, everything. The rooftop cleaning is absolutely insane, and one of the most memorable scenes ever. That scene was stressful. I'm probably butchering the explanation of this scene, but I would argue the scene where they sent 3 men down to close a valve in the flooded basement, with the Geiger counters clicking and their flashlights going out. That was the most stressful for me. Whomever did the sound design of that series deserves an award. The sound of the flashlight whirring and the counters clicking did so much to add to the overall stress to the situation. I would say Breaking Bad, but even a second and third watch is brilliant. Halo 2 multiplayer. Thank you for Halo 2 multiplayer. I keep seeing everyone talk about Halo 3. Halo 2 multiplayer in its prime was easily one of my favorite gaming memories ever. I want to experience Pokemon in its entirety again. 1999. 11 years old. Seeing these cool cards people had at school. Knowing nothing about it. Then seeing the anime for the first time and really not knowing how everything worked. Getting Pokemon Blue shortly after and starting my journey. Learning as my Squirtle and I, went along. Discovering new monsters. Seeing their evolutions happen for the first time. Genuinely being blown away over and over as I learned. Nothing will ever feel that way to me again, and it's just sad. Edit. Take my energy award! Exclamation mark. Awesome. Thanks. Edit 2, +1 and Silver 2, exclamation mark. You guys are awesome. Thank you. The lack of internet access definitely made games more fun too. There were no spoilers to these things, unless someone at school was a dick. You just figured them out as they happened, and it was an amazing feeling. I did an entire new game, just to try to get to that truck by the SSN. Nowadays I would have just yautubed it, and seen it was fake. I think a lot of games like that were so fun because the internet wasn't as ubiquitous as it is now. Pokemon and WoW are 2 I wish I could experience again. And both were at a time when the internet was full of guides, walkthroughs, YouTube, cheats, etc. You actually had to find out things for yourself and wander the worlds. Like, how long did it take in Pokemon Red/Blue to go back to Pewter City with Cut? Talk to that one guy and get the fossil for Kabuto/Omanyte, or figuring out the little gym puzzles, or even just finding out what types were effective against others. Doing all that by yourself was always so rewarding. Same with RuneScape for me. There might have been online guides at the time, but I didn't know about it. You either ask someone in game for help, or you just keep clicking to figure it out. You know how long it took me to realize you could go get Flash by using the Diglett cave, so you don't need to go blind through the dark tunnel. Breaking Bad. Anytime somebody I know tells me they are watching BB for the first time, I get insanely jealous of them. I've never watched Breaking Bad. Everyone always says it's great. Maybe I should get round to watching it. The best series I have ever seen. Just finished it 2 days ago. Not only is it the best I've ever seen, it will probably remain the best I'll ever see. It's utter perfection. Outer Wilds. What an amazing game on every single level. I played it with my daughter who is 9. She's played through other games before, but this was the first where she was interested in the story. We had so much fun together figuring out where to go and what to do. Following clues to new locations. She figured out some things on her own that really impressed me. It made me realize both how smart my daughter is and just how good game design can be when you can make a thing with so many complicated time-sensitive moving parts that a child can understand and solve. I can't believe this doesn't have more upvotes. It's the best game I've ever played. And the sole resource in the game is knowledge, so you literally can't play it again unless it's been 10 years and you've forgotten everything. This game left such a strong impression on me that I don't know if I'll even be able to truly forget everything. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.